Welcome to Dining Room Stories with Domar and Andrea, where we take you behind the scenes of the restaurant business world with stories and conversation that inspire. Today, we welcome a restaurateur whose journey is built on resilience, passion, and perseverance. He's the owner of Cucina Toorak. Welcome to Dining Room Stories, Gabriele Piacentini.
Ciao ragazzi, grazie mille.
Ciao Gabri, welcome.
Ciao Gabriele, welcome.
Grazie. Thanks for having me today.
How are you today?
Very, very good, thanks.
We're very excited to have you here. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Gabri, you moved to Australia when you were 26 without knowing the language, which was a bold move. What pushed you to take the leap?
Look, I believe when I basically realized that Italy was in a position where it wasn't going to offer me what I needed, I decided to, I was lucky enough back in the day that I had my uncle living here. So I always compared myself and my lifestyle with their lifestyle over here. And I always noticed growing up, there was there's kind of a gap between the reality and the lifestyle we're living in Italy and the lifestyle that lived here. It always looked like some kind of a happy place, Australia. So when I realized, because I got to 26 years old with a Bachelor of Engineering.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was as you say, a bold move, because I was trying to follow my father's steps in the engineering industry.
I can definitely relate to you. I became a lawyer in Italy too. It was exactly the same. And then at 29, I just followed love.
Correct.
And a lot of people in Italy, they live this dream, the Australian dream. And actually, for people like us, it became a reality, right?
100%. Dream starts as a dream. And start with a dream. So yeah, I realized, going through life that Italy wasn't the place for me to be, and I didn't belong to that society. So I was like, you know what, let's go. And I was actually pretty scared to tell my parents back in the day, because I thought I was gonna kind of ruin what my father had planned and whatsoever. It wasn't like that at all. It was actually happy, and it was like, oh well, it took you a while, but go.
Oh, yeah.
And what did you do when you arrived in Australia?
So as many of us in this industry, I did because obviously now we've been talking about engineering, but my actual job while I was studying was hospitality. So I started polishing cutlery and running food when I was 14, so a few years ago. So always been in the hospitality industry, and so I moved here, and obviously I had as a point of reference my uncle here. After 3 days, I was working in an Italian restaurant in Melbourne. No English whatsoever. So I was like, I don't know, the dream became a nightmare all of a sudden, because I was like, I couldn't understand what people were saying around me. So all of a sudden, I've been thrown in this. It was literally 3 days after we landed. Started working in this restaurant, and they put me polishing cutlery, because I wasn't able to have a discussion with customers. Cleaning the floors, etc. So I worked my way up quite quickly. And I was lucky enough, after 3 months, I've met some lovely people that, made a bet on me, and decided to sponsor me. So I've gone through the sponsorship. It's been a bit of a journey, I would say.
And you opened your first restaurant during COVID. Good
Yes.
timing.
Yeah, here you go.
What was that? What was that period?
Look, that was actually the best decision I've made after the decision I made with my wife to have kids. So opening my first restaurant was, it came quite frankly, well, it came out of nowhere because back in the day I had a 4 years gap from hospitality. So 2016, I was like, I need a break because I was just overdone.
Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the episode. Remember to subscribe to our channel to get updates and keep enjoying the rest of the episode.
And moved to retail. So for 4 years, I run clothing stores in Australia, in Victoria mainly. And
that's why you look very sharp and you're very well dressed.
I love the style. Yeah,
thanks. Oh well, 4 years in the retail industry, and one day I remember. So that was the time where all the shops were shut. So during COVID, we didn't know what was going on, whatever. And the company I always worked for was a big company across Australia, and they stood everyone down. Basically, I was home for 13 weeks with my first child. So it was a really good experience as well because I got to bond with my firstborn. And lucky enough, back in the day, my wife was in the childcare industry, so the childcare never closed. So we still had an income back in the day. So I was home basically, and one day I get an email of, I think it was Seek back in the day, if I'm not wrong, and there was someone looking for a business partner to open a restaurant. I remember I was playing with it, and I look at it, I was like, okay. And then after half an hour, I started thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I got out of it 4 years ago after, 15 years. And now I'm thinking about it again, right? So anyway, cutting the story short, I've met with these people that are looking for a business partner. Never met them before. We kind of clicked. We agreed on the location, not knowing what was coming.
But your heart was saying yes straight away.
Just go
right.
all in. And my wife always supported me, so she was like, yeah, not a problem. Like literally going, obviously COVID, we didn't know what was coming, right?
Yeah.
And basically cutting the story short, we've done a renovation. We got this place in Toorak. It was our first restaurant. And initially was three of us, three business partners, and we opened our first restaurant, and that was a nice learning curve. And
what was the restaurant called?
Osteria. Yeah.
And so I understand that things didn't go as planned with your business partners, right?
Yeah. Well, look. Yes. That's a good way to put it. But as I said before, for me, it was really great because I've learned a lot. So I look at it as good learning experience, and I believe that was meant to be because it took me where I am today, and I nourish and build my current clientele and my current self.
And that story brings you to today.
Yep.
To that time, starting your first restaurant, Cucina Toorak, with no capital and only two people, you and your wife.
Yep.
What kept you going during these difficult months, and how did you overcome, the beginning of the restaurant?
Look, we've had previously had these conversations as well about resilience and how everyone, I'd say, cope in a different way when we put under pressure, right? While I was getting out of my old restaurant, I came across this little shop, and that was up for lease. So I had two options: go back and get my safe job and work for someone, or keep doing what I love and keep proving myself and keep doing what I believe it is good for me and my family. So I was like, you know what? let's try this. So I signed a new lease, and as you say, no capital. And that was someone says it could be a mistake. But for me, if I look back definitely after 2 or 3 months, I thought it was a mistake because I was literally drowning. But what kept me in the right path, I would say, the resilience. So the passion and the energy, and that feeling I have to constantly become the better version of myself.
That's great. And I think you just passed that like turning point, and then things started to work around. So
100%.
when do you actually realize that like things finally were just working, and like, you got excited and get into the next step?
Look, I would say after 6 months, 6 to 9 months, because the first 6 months was kind of, I knew I had a vision, but the numbers weren't there. Because as you mentioned before, starting undercapitalized, you're kind of constantly chasing your tail. But the numbers were there. So it was, I had the accountant on me because, numbers.
Yeah, Omar is the number guy. He loves numbers.
Look, that's it is at the end of the day, numbers are what's.
No, it makes sense. I'm just joking, but I know you need to get like everything in place, so it's gonna be hard to.
But there was something telling me to keep pushing. So we went to operating 5 days a week and having only one team member employed to 7 days a week. I went all in, and I employed another 3 people. So I was like, now it's either black or white. We either make it or we will have to close. And then I started as a small business owner, working only on my connections and my presence on the shop floor.
Yeah, as
everyone does at the start. And 3 years in, we that worked pretty well.
And that's amazing. So basically, you value your customers and like the whole hospitality experience more than money, I would say. Looking how you operate. So is that because you're passionate? Like, do you like talking with people, creating that connection, and how do you actually do day by day?
Look, I definitely do like people and talking to people and creating connections. But I've had the opportunity throughout my life to study, and I love reading as well, and I love the psychological part of the human interactions and also business. So it's pretty simple, really, because I know through experience how a restaurant business works. So all I do is I focus training around hospitality, which is far away from service.
I love that. And it's you kind of engineered the whole process of things work, right?
Kind of, yeah. That's true. It is true.
I get it.
Very.
What is the difference between service and hospitality?
Oh, look, that's I believe it's personal, but when I think about hospitality, what we do in terms of business and training, it is the overall experience, because the customer, so the food has to be good. That's not there.
Yeah.
But I personally believe that food, it is 30% of the overall experience. The overall experience, it is what we call hospitality. And hospitality is made out of the food, the actual service, but it is made out of the emotions. Kind of, the what
feeling.
Correct.
Yeah.
How we make our customers feel, and that can make or break a business. Because as we mentioned before, I haven't had the opportunity to start from $1 million venue. So we had to create a relationship. We had to create trust with our customers, and you can only create trust with your customers if they trust you, if they trust what you're doing. So that goes through steps, and the first step, obviously, we were talking about numbers, negative, because you're offering a great product, investing into training and preparing your staff, etc. So at the start, you're always negative until you reach a point where eventually, if you're lucky enough or good enough, customers appreciate what you're doing, and as customers start walking through the door, and everything kind of balances up eventually.
I agree with you. Service is how you bring something from point A to point B. And hospitality is how you make a human being feel.
Correct. Oh, well, look, it's. I was reading the other day. Apparently, there's a study that every customer is capable of telling other 16 people about good experience or a bad experience. So that's something that we focus on as well. Like, obviously bad experience can happen, but when a bad experience happens, you have to understand what actually happens and then break down the problem. Because a bad experience, obviously you can't just scream to your team members or whatever, but understanding what happened will allow you to not make that mistake again. And we allow, because if we think every customer can eventually tell other 16 customers to not come to your restaurant, so every single bad experience has to be taken very seriously, but from my point of view, and dissected.
Yeah.
And you have to understand where the problem comes from, and work around the system to make sure that next time that same problem either won't happen or will be handled differently.
And it's like from a marketing perspective, because I just manage like Google and the Google reviews for like a lot of restaurants. One of the hardest part is like, how do you actually translate what you're saying now in the online world, right? So how do you actually deal with positive reviews, negative reviews? Do you like doing it, or is something that you have to because we are in 2025?
Look, definitely something I have to improve. But look, myself, I don't really. This is something I've learned with throughout life. I look at it, and I definitely appreciate the good, positive feedback. Negative feedback, as I say, I have to, once I understand what really happened there, and I dissect the problem and I work around the system to avoid that to happen next time, I force myself to delete that out of my mind, because what happens is, from a small business owner, what happens is you get 100 good reviews and you're happy, and then you get one bad review. What happened? Like, our business is crap. We got to change the menu. We got to change stuff. We got to change this. It's a very challenging mental battle. So I tend to obviously look at it, but I focus on what I can control. You know what I mean? Like it's a four walls, and the only thing I can control is the type of training I offer my team, the systems we put in place, and the food we make.
So you take like this positive or negative reviews, especially as a recommendation. You say sometimes they could be like a little bit like emotionally tiring, or they could be like hard to actually digest, but then you implement that into the system and you try to make it better. And that's why probably like your restaurant is doing it's better. And I'm curious to understand, like, what is the vision? Where do you think?
Look, I definitely think that, especially like apart from like Google, it is very important nowadays to have a presence and to have, a good rating. But also it is it's important to not so you got to see if it's a trend or if it is a one-off, because we all kind of most of the times our customers are they have feelings and emotions as well, so it's kind of an emotional reaction to something that happened.
Yeah, it's easier to get so when they have a bad experience, it's easier for them to get on and just write a bad reviews.
Yeah.
But most of the time
So the difference between us as a business owner and other people, you have to be able to not get into emotionally and react to that. So look at the problem, full stop, without any ego, without any there's no ego in business. That's my.
Talking about resilience and personal growth, you lost your brother, mother, father in a very short period of time, which is unimaginable. How did you find the strength to keep moving forward, especially running a business?
Look, I am lucky enough. I had a lovely young family. And some amazing people around me. So that was definitely the starting point for me, because it was such a short period of time. You guys know as much as I do that living and dropping everything, one day to move to a different country, it's always a kind of daunting thought. And then you get one day when you realize that what you've left, it's not there anymore. So in those moments, my personal strength came from the fact that I had responsibility towards my children, responsibility towards my wife, my friends, and my employees. I honestly don't know what happened in my mind, but it's kind of I still have ups and downs. That's inevitable, but you have to be able to be there for others and put what your feelings aside, because that's what it is, and there's no time for. There is time to grieve, but there is also time where you have to draw a line and be there for others, and that's what we do.
And I think the hardest part of immigrating to Australia is that it's so far away from home.
Yep.
It's how many? 20, 23, 20, 20, I don't know.
24 hours.
Yeah, it's 24 hours of distance, and deciding to live in a different place, you're gonna lose a lot of baptism and some weddings and stuff, because it's really hard to be in two different places. So the distance is actually what objectively it's hard to see, and especially during lockdown. Yeah, I was actually running into this fear, if something happens, I can't even go home.
Yeah.
And they actually break that kind of mental safety. There was hey, in any case, it's gonna cost some money, but I can go home. But in that specific moment was if I can share something that's I don't know if you can relate.
No, it's obviously yes, and it is. But we as professionals, we've kind of you get to a point where you have to. We choose to be. I choose to be here.
Yes,
correct. So there's no. It doesn't take me anywhere to if I keep thinking about what could have been, or what hasn't been, or what I haven't done or I haven't said. Reality is now it's I don't want to feel I'm not a cold person. Actually, I'm the opposite. I'm very, very, very warm, but I'm a human being, and there is a lot of people that look at me as leader. Starting from my children. So, it is. I have to be a leader. You know, I mean, that's all we're here for. So and you have to think about, you know, what's next, not what's behind.
Has your experience with loss changed the way you lead your team or interact with your customers?
I think it changed me somehow. Hopefully for the better. But yeah, it did. It did because from a business point of view, training staff and also customers, I do see. I've always been, as I said before, I've always been like a family person and a very warm person. It's kind of now everything is kind of in a different perspective, if it makes sense. So it's still very important. I'm very focused, but I'm definitely more sharp now. So in terms of, you know, if I have to make decisions, I don't wait for something to happen. I just make it because you know, life is now. I know that's it's something you know, it's written everywhere, and we get like thousands posts and reels a day, but it's true. Like, you know, I felt it on myself, and if something is not working in the business, straight away.
What advice would you give to someone struggling through tough times but wanting to build something meaningful?
Definitely, you have to find your purpose. So purpose is what you know helps you in those moments. It's kind of a big topic, but if you have a purpose in life, tough moments will not be easier, but purpose will overcome the sadness and will push the sadness aside to make sure that you're living the present and you're kind of building a future for other people.
If you could sit with your younger self, Gabriele, the one who just arrived in Australia a few years ago,
Yeah.
what would you tell him?
Well done. Look, no, I would say, you know, well done on making the decision to move here, especially like, you know, considering how things have unfolded and you know, yeah, that's it. Well done.
Yeah, because you done the move. You did it.
But look, it is obviously work in progress. So, you know what I mean? Like I've just started, and you know, the excitement now is to keep doing what we do and you know, get better from, you know, learning new things every day and you know, get better at what we do every day. This for me, you know, today it is a learning because it's something I've never done before, and it's something that makes me a better person as well. And being a better person, I can be a better parent, better husband, and a better leader.
Yeah, great, Gabriele. Ma senti, so you're planning an expansion for Cucina Toorak. You want to tell us and the public a little bit more about it?
Look, it is in the making, but we definitely look. Cucina Toorak will definitely keep operating the way we've been operating, but definitely the opportunity, you know, came up to take the upstairs area. So something will eventually come up very soon.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. But do you have any like set time already? Is it going to be like more like a function room or like an expansion of the restaurant?
So we'll mainly be focused on our production and improving our products and improving our, you know, footprint on the local market and online.
And because you're so good at like management and leadership, right? So are you actually considering to pull a little bit yourself out of the business, make, Cucina more like an independent business so you can focus on your next venture or something else in the future?
Yeah, look, yes, the answer is yes, but the business needs time to grow, and it's time to grow as much, as I need time to be able to build the right system and the right model in order for the business to run without me.
Yeah.
Which, hospitality is, as I say, my passion as well. So I will never be totally out of the floor. You never take me out of the floor totally. You always find me in and out. But eventually, yes, the idea is to make the business a business, not a job. But it takes time. So we only third year now. So I would say we need a bit of time now to get the machine nicely oiled, and then eventually, why not? Yeah, because as I said before, unfortunately, I always want to get better and progress. So I will get to the point where it's not gonna be,
I think it's really positive, like, because you put like some, like, I wouldn't say, you say pressure, but like some on yourself that you want to get better. You say you like to focus on the present moment, but also I can feel that you want to get better, and also you want to be on the floor and leave the restaurant with all like your team members. So that's amazing.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a business. It's not a business if I'm there every day, right? So now we are creating the business. Business runs, yes, but has the operator there on a daily basis. So obviously now it's amazing what we've done, but it's also needs to I need to work on the systems to make a business of a job.
So if you would open like now, right, another restaurant,
yeah,
and you could choose anywhere in the world, and also Australia,
yeah,
what would you choose? Would you still choose Australia?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Look, it's I'm very grateful. So it doesn't matter where you go. You got to look at the because there's people that I'm happy here. So definitely we're very lucky. The economy is quite good as well, despite the fact that in the last few years the inflation but it's across the world. So I believe we're very lucky. And but I got to where I am today after we've as Omar mentioned before, I've gone through pain. So pain shaped me and my thoughts. So I got to this feeling of gratefulness and peacefulness in Australia after 14 years or 13 years, because my brother passed away 2 years ago. 13 years of battles, mental battles, where you feel like, you know that Australia is doing a lot for you, but you don't belong here. Your home is away. Your home, back home. Let's go back home. Everyone says back home. So I've gone through that, and I've gone through a phase where, when my brother was really sick, really ill, where I really wanted to move back and take my kids there. So I was like desperate to go back, and then all of a sudden, things change, and you realize that maybe it was meant to be. I don't know. Nowadays I feel in peace. Yeah. So I'm very happy, and I will open again. I will. That's a plan for the future.
And that's like the beauty of Melbourne. Like, I lived in Sydney for 1 year, and I love the weather, I love the city, but it was harder to connect with people. While like the more I spend time in Melbourne, the more I find my community. Yeah. But the interesting part is like, so do your kids feel like Italian, or they feel Australian, or both?
I would say, look, they're still little, but they definitely Australian. Yeah. So these. we speak English. They've got, you know, they go to, you know, to school here. So that's and unfortunately they don't have you know, they don't have family to you know, make them feel like, you know, at home, like, you know, we were saying before. So look, it's definitely something that I will definitely take them back one day to see where you know, Papa is from.
But do you speak Italian to them?
No.
Okay.
Bad.
I mean,
Look, it's hard. It's
I
hard.
don't have kids
It's
yet,
hard.
so I don't know, but like
It is hard because my wife is Australian, so for me it's kind of, you know, normal to speak English, and sometimes, you know, there can be, you know, a few bad words saying in Italian, but other than that,
so they're just gonna learn the swear words in Italian.
It's easier when both parents are Italian.
yeah,
or they
it
speak
is
the
easier.
same
Yeah, it
language.
is easier. Yeah, and so that's something that I can improve as well, definitely. But I don't have a plan at the moment because, yeah, as long as they're healthy and they, you know, they studying, Italian will, you know, will eventually come.
So, in one sentence, what does success means to you?
Okay, so success is I would say being at home with my children, knowing that everyone is healthy.
Okay.
That's a good. I mean, it sounds weird, but let's break it down in like a business. Success means for me it means be able to build a business that creates time for me, and having people employed that share the same vision I share.
That's nice. Really good.
Do you have any tip for any young restaurateur starting his own business right now, her own business?
I would say believe in yourself, because no one else will do that, and be focused on your goal, because obviously, you know, the life will throw you things on your way every single day, and they'll try to derail you. So focus, believe in yourself, and start the business with capital.
Yeah. Of course, like over the years, like you've been more than 10 years like living here, right?
Yeah.
So social media became more and more like present, especially in the restaurant like world. What's your relationship with social media, putting yourself out, showing the brand compared to your own personal?
Look, I personally got myself out of social media. I do work on social media for my business, but personally, I decided to not be present on social media. That's my personal thing, because I find myself mentally, like social media takes focus away from.
Okay.
So I do work with social media. I do research as well, but that's strictly related to the hospitality industry.
So you separate the two things. It's like you have to do it, but in general, what we can say is like that we actually need some exposure in the restaurant world, and so social media is a must.
Yeah, you do.
Or you think you can pull it out completely?
Oh, well, look, it is lucky enough, you know, I didn't really need it up until now. So it's a kind of a, I would say, for me, it depends where life will take me. Now, for me, my only focus is, to get, Cucina where it's meant to be. So it doesn't really necessarily need my exposure because, especially if I want to work on the business, because then we'll attract people because of me.
Okay. Yeah.
So ideally, yes, obviously now people, they especially like locals, everyone knows me, but social media has to be to build the brand over, to build my brand.
Yeah. Like personally, like I'm more specializing in like SEO, so I like more the Google things, but also this podcast, and like I'm actually growing like my presence on social, not because it's my favorite, but because I also with all the AI things and where the world is going, it's important if you invest on yourself, and at the end of the day, your image, yourself is gonna stay. But I would say, have you done some like local marketing, for example, on Google and stuff, or everything has been organically because you're really good and charismatic?
Look, it is funny to say, but it's actually organic because we didn't invest any money into.
And that's great,
marketing.
by the way.
No, it is great. There is obviously a big percentage of our customers are locals, so that helps. And then what happens is, as we said before, if you create that experience, if you touch the feelings, those customers will talk to other customers. And then what happens is what's been happening with us. So you get customers from all around Melbourne just because they're being told from a cousin or from a friend of mine in Portsea, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, the classic like cousin recommendation. Hey, mio cugino asked me.
Exactly.
And what do you think about like the photography, like food photography?
Yeah.
Do you do it yourself? Do you like presenting plates in a specific way?
I'm really specific the way we do things. So photography, I kind of do. I'm at a stage where I do everything for my business, so that's why.
That actually contradicts a little bit what you were saying before. That you were like, oh
Correct.
yeah, I'm trying to scale, but that
Correct.
I mean,
But it takes time. It takes time, and obviously, time and money. So that's two things that go together. For now, it's fine, even if I know that that's a huge opportunity for us, because if I look at the social presence of many other restaurants that are doing really well in Melbourne, we are very far behind. But it is, as I said before, these are stages, and now I'm at a stage where I need the business to grow a little bit more before I start the system.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't you think that in order to grow, you need to set yourself up before you're growing? Yes. But that's a challenge as well. It is a challenge that you go through, because especially nowadays with the margins are very, very little. So it's a constant battle, because you need time to create the systems, but you can't afford to put extra people to work. And so as I say, patience, number one. Number two is just a matter of time. So I don't want to rush things and just jump on the first opportunity that comes just because I believe that any restaurant needs at least 3 to 5 years before.
I totally agree.
Before you can see if it's stable business, and because yes, it's growing, yes, but reality is that there is a main man doing the show every day, so needs to grow a little bit more before the main man, eventually steps out a little bit and works on what's important for the business, which is systems and relationships and networking.
Yeah, I love the approach, and I think like in general, like digital marketing can shorten the period of being known in the area.
Yeah.
But like you're right, like organically it will take at least 5 to 8, 10 years to be established in a local area. But also it's getting a little bit more crowded. But some businesses are getting out of business, some are getting in. But in general, I like your approach because like it seems like really systematic, and you say like, I want everything to be on order to actually do the next steps.
Yeah,
So,
but and then one thing we have to take in consideration is that, as you said, like social media is very important, but not always, but most of the time it creates a short-term customer.
yes.
So you get the boom out, and it's all flashy, but while the other way, the grow like an organic growth and the word of mouth that we call word of mouth, it's a genuine marketing and creates a long-term customer. That's my point of view.
Gabriele, thank you for taking the time to come at Dining Room Stories. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Grazie,
And we'll
Gabriele.
see you at your restaurant.
Grazie.
Grazie
Ciao.
mille.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the episode. I'm gonna see you in the next one.
Welcome to Dining Room Stories with Domar and Andrea, where we take you behind the scenes of the restaurant business world with stories and conversation that inspire.